Excellent. And we are live with Bruce Sharpe. He is the CEO of Singular Hearing. I'm just going to say, if you can't tell, I'm actually, even at the state when I was at medical school, I could already detect hearing deterioration because I grew up in the era of Walkmans, and I did a study at medical school and showed the decline in the high instance or high frequencies. So I already have a hearing problem, and that was a long time ago. So I'm excited to hear about Singular Hearing and how AI is reshaping hearing assistance. Bruce, over to you.
Great. Hi, I'm Bruce Sharpe. I'm the CEO of Singular Hearing. Today, we're going to talk about how artificial intelligence is changing everything in the world of hearing assistance. And if you are not very familiar with the worlds of hearing loss and hearing assistance, you're going to hear some things today that I think will surprise you. Starting with the fact of just how common it is. Some call it the most prevalent health impairment worldwide. It affects up to about 20% of the world's population. It has an economic impact of close to $1 trillion. And yet it's not well addressed. In fact, it turns out that, and you may be surprised by this, there are very few medical treatments for hearing loss. Really, mostly what we have is technology. This book, Here and Beyond, is a terrific book. It's kind of a user's guide for hearing loss and how to cope with it. And a running theme in that book is technology is your friend. What kind of technology? Well, you're probably thinking hearing aids. Fair enough. They are a prime tool in the toolkit, but they don't completely solve the problem, as we'll see. Also, the people who would benefit from hearing aids, only about 20% of them actually get them, and that's in the developed world. So there's some issues there. Cochlear implants, another alternative if you have very severe hearing loss. Just regular old earbuds are taking on some aspects of hearing assistance. Then there's captions, mobile apps, microphones. So the good news is there's lots of technology. The bad news is there's so much, it's a little confusing sometimes. AI is changing kind of all aspects of this. It's being applied to diagnosis of hearing loss, definitely for sound processing, which is mostly what we'll talk about today, and then just sort of the management of the technology and configuring it for you. So we'll talk a little bit about the past, present, and future of all those things. I'm going to spend a lot of time talking about noise, because noise is one of the biggest problems, but it's also the area where AI is having the most impact. The type of noise I'm talking about is background noise. You go to a restaurant, we've all experienced this. It's just really hard to hear, whether you've got hearing loss or not. And it's especially tough if you do have hearing loss. It's one of the first abilities to go, is the ability to cope with noise. Various reports will tell you it is the primary complaint among those being treated for hearing loss. And again, hearing aids, which are terrific and are so helpful in many ways, they just don't solve the noise problem, as is confirmed by multiple consumer surveys of hearing aid users. Now, AI has given us something very new for handling noise. The traditional way of dealing with noise was to create a mathematical model of it, and they use that to reduce it. The difficulty is that reduces the speech as well, and it has limited adaptability. So if the noise type changes, well, you kind of have to rework your model of what that noise is. AI takes a different approach. Its point of view is that noise is hard to describe, but you know it when you hear it. So the way we do it with AI is we train an AI model by showing it thousands of hours of examples of clean speech, of background noise, and of a mixture of the two. So it learns what is speech, what is noise, and it learns how to separate the two of them. So I'm going to first start by talking about and give some examples of offline noise processing, by which I mean we have a recording and then we're going to apply some processing to it that may take, several seconds to run, but it's not quite real time, which is a harder constraint. But this gives us an idea of what the best capabilities of AI are for this type of processing. And everything we learn about this offline process.